talk about this with some expert minds in this particular field. Joining us on the show at this point in time is Ambassador Ashok Sajjanhar, former diplomat. Major General Dhruv Katoch, Strategic and Global Affairs Expert, Director of India Foundation, is also here with us. Major Maj Ali Shah, Defence Expert, joins us on the program as well. He's a Defence Expert. Mr. Rabinder Sajdev, Foreign Affairs Expert and President of Image India Institute, is also here with us. And last but by no means the least, Joyita Basu, Editor of the Sunday Guardian, also joins me in the studio. Maj Ali Shah, if you can hear me.
Yes, Meet, loud and clear.
All right. Well, you know, the government of Qatar has said that they accept the Indian government's apology. But, you know, a government accepting an apology is very different from how Indians are likely to be treated in Qatar after what happened. And let's not forget, you know, these countries are proponents of terrorism and extremism. And least of all, they value human life. They're theocracies, they're run by autocrats. And that's definitely you know, a problem for themselves and for India as well. But do you think we have gotten on a back foot after this apology?
Well, Vineet, I don't know whether it's an apology or not, but it certainly is very, very embarrassing. Tell you one thing.
But
Today,
Ali, it's one person. Ali, it's one person. You know, the one person cannot represent the government's mood or the government's stance on any particular subject.
Does Nupur Sharma represent India?
That's what I'm saying. She does not.
Does Mr. Jindal represent India? No, he does not. Now let me come to the root cause of it, Vineet. Today a lot of people, they say, oh, news panels. We do not watch news. Why? Because they are spreading hatred, venom. They are spreading negative news. Right? Now, why is it that I have never seen you, Vineet, personally, shouting, yelling or trying to garner those cheap TRPs or those cheap popularities? Or I haven't seen NewsX. I'm not being biased. I'm not saying, I'm speaking on NewsX. I've never seen you or NewsX or any of your anchors doing that. I would hold the anchor equally responsible there, because it was the anchor who instigated that statement. Anchor was instigating, okay, you versus you, come on, let's fight, let's debate, right? And after that, very smartly, that channel very conveniently...
Okay, Ali, I want you to tell me whether these countries are taking an this kind of an opportunity and indulging in India bashing. And is that something which should be acceptable to us? What's done is done. It's water under the bridge. The fact of the matter is that Indians are at peril. Indian products are at peril. India's reputation is at peril because of these geopolitical games which are being played by countries that have no accord of their own. Kuwait is talking about, you know, putting up censures against India. These are the countries we helped with vaccines and medication and whatnot when the COVID-19 pandemic, you know, was in fact rearing its head. And now they're going to talk back and do all of these things just because of one person. That's not fair.
I agree, it's not fair, and that is the whole thing. When a small, it sounds like a fly on the wall. You pay attention to it, that person becomes the center of gravity completely. So Nupur Sharma, I mean, like for, okay, I'll equate it with another example. Organizations like IS, Taliban, Lashkar-e-Mohammed, all these terrorist organizations, they do not represent the Muslim community. Islamophobia comes from these people, organizations, from Pakistan. They do not represent the Muslim community at all. Now, similarly, when one person, as you rightly said, one person has given a statement and suddenly international communities, OIC giving statements, MOD, our Minister of External Affairs giving statements, we're having TV panel discussions over something which one can register a case and then initiate action. But the moment you make it into an international affair, it becomes big. And yes, that channel very conveniently, hours after that, takes out a disclaimer that the channel is not responsible for those statements, because which means that channel knew what that person has said was wrong.
Okay, all right. Maj Ali Shah, Pakistan lecturing India on how to run its own affairs. Pakistan lecturing anybody on anything is a travesty these days. Look at their economy, look at their politicians, look at their education, look at their global standing, and look at how powers have dumped them over the last few years. And considering how well India is doing, Pakistan should definitely keep its mouth shut on whatever happens. First up, you know, they have to worry about the terror that's ingrown and outgrown into other parts of the world as well. How, you know, dumbfounded should Pakistan feel if there is any time, you know, to lecture India?
The very fact that Pakistan lecturing India is the biggest joke. And it's like, it's laughable actually. The problem with them is they are not really interested in administrating affairs of their country, no. They are more interested in peeping from the neighbor's window and seeing what's happening there and let me try lecturing them. That is why they are in such a mess. Now, it's our internal issue. I think our government have been successful in handling it in the way they have to, and they have done that. But the moment Pakistan steps in, what happens is now it works the adverse, Vineet. It gives the adverse picture. Pakistan has got no business remotely. I mean, no way. They're not concerned from any angle, and they would come forward to lecture us. Well, it would be self-destructive for Pakistan as well, and they are digging their own grave. Now, they are giving fodder to it. Which means for Pakistan, Nupur Sharma is a very important person for them. Which means, so really, I mean, I ridicule the very fact that Shahbaz Sharif has come forward and given that statement. Look at the economy, just yesterday there were heavy rumors about Imran Khan being assassinated in Pakistan.
Right, okay, all right. Ali, stay on with us.
I think we have to go beyond the statement of the former spokesperson of the BJP. Very frankly, when I went through her statement, she was simply stating the obvious. But this forms part of the hadith. You know, what she had stated forms part of the hadith. I know it's...
Muhammad Ali Shah.
We can have a number of discussions. The point is, will anything fruitful come out from the discussion? Will an end result be reached? Now they say the true personality of a person comes when the person is under pressure, when the person is really pushed. So yes, Nupur Sharma cannot afford, not only Nupur Sharma, anyone for that matter, anyone even on your panel, cannot afford to spread hatred or speak anything which does not understand or misquote something. I'll give you a very small example, Vineet. Very small example that everyone understands. In school, when we read a chapter, a literature, we read the book, we read the chapter, we cannot misquote something, saying we are stating the obvious by quoting few lines from a chapter, unless we understand and we know what the chapter is in the beginning and what the chapter is in the end. We cannot misquote any text. That is a ground rule of every student, plain and simple. So yes, the solution to it will come when we discuss it maturely in an amicable manner, and we cannot say that someone has quoted the obvious, it's there in the hadith or whatever, because that person is ill-informed. Basically, because the person is ill-informed about the hadith or about the Quran or about any verse, so that is why it is incorrect.
Okay, all right, Ali, all right. Calm down, Ali. Calm down.